With great pixels comes great image quality, so it's not surprising that PC gamers roll over monitors with a 4K resolution. A panel packing 8.3 million pixels, 3840 x 2160 makes your favorite games look sharp and realistic. It also lets you see the most out of the best webcams, which is helpful if you're a streamer. Number 1. Dell G3223Q. The Dell G3223Q is a stellar entry in the 4K gaming monitor segment, offering a 32-inch panel size, low total input lag, measured at just 3 ms and an excellent balance between response and motion resolution. As you might expect for a 4K gaming monitor, we have a 144Hz refresh rate with support for both AMD FreeSync and NVIDIA G-Sync adaptive sync technologies. Not only does the Dell G3223Q nail the basics, but it also offers a bright and colorful picture, and color accuracy straight out of the box is top-notch in both DCI-P3 and sRGB color gamuts. With display HDR 600 support, accuracy and color reproduction were also well represented in HDR mode. If there were any downsides, it was that contrast and color gamut volume came up a little bit short compared to some of its close rivals. However, with a street price of less than $800, the Dell G3223Q is easy to recommend for 4K gamers. Number 2. Asus ROG Swift PG32Q. The 32-inch 4K gaming monitor segment is becoming very crowded, but the Asus ROG Swift PG32Q looks to stand out with some trick features. For starters, the PG32Q boasts a maximum refresh rate of 155 Hz, which pushes it slightly ahead of the class standard of 144 Hz. While that 155 Hz rating didn't show much of an advantage in our testing, we can't ignore the rich and vibrant colors provided by the IPS panel and the excellent HDR contrast afforded by its HDR 600 rating. Throw in features like a large color gamut, one's response time, FreeSync and G-Sync compatibility, and top-notch video processing, and we have a real winner on our hands. The PG32Q performed well across our test suite and comes in at a price that squeaks just below $1,000. Number 3. ViewSonic Elite XG320U. The ViewSonic Elite XG320U excels in the 32-inch class with a 4K IPS panel that overclocks to a maximum of 150 Hz. The monitor comes in at a hair under $1,000 and delivers a large color gamut, excellent HDR, great gaming performance, and a sharp image. We'd also add that its build quality is solid, which is in keeping with previous high-end ViewSonic monitors that we've tested. In addition to supporting HDMI 2.1, the Elite XG320U boasts a 1's response time, FreeSync and G-Sync support, and peak HDR brightness of 543 nits in our testing, a bit below the spec 600 nits. The contrast ratio for the panel is also listed at 1001. It should be noted that while we were overall impressed across the board with the monitor, we did give it demerits for a lack of controls over color gamut size and the fact that the slight overclock to 150 Hz robs gamers of adaptive sync support. Number 4. Asus ROG Strix XG27UQ. The Asus ROG Strix XG27UQ is the best 144 Hz 4K gaming monitor and may be cheaper than you expect, as we've seen it listed for $800. Opens in new TAD. Unfortunately, the XG27UQ doesn't have a premium foul backlight for beautiful HDR. However, HDR performance is still impressive thanks to an effective edge array backlight and the screen's dynamic dimming feature. The ROG Strix XG27UQ stacked up well in our testing regarding both response time and input lag. The input lag test outperformed other 144 Hz monitors, including the Acer Predator X27 and Asus ROG Swift PG27UQ, which went for about $2,000 each. And while the XG27UQ is listed as a FreeSync monitor, we could run G-Sync on it successfully. Number 5. Acer Predator XB273K. A little more affordable than the other 144 Hz options on this page. The Acer Predator XB273K is the best 4K gaming monitor at that ideal refresh rate for value seekers. During fast-paced games with settings maxed, there was no blur. G-Sync works successfully with both standard and HDR content to fight screen tearing when paired with an NVIDIA graphics card. The monitor kept up well with other 144 Hz displays during our testing and even beat the Asus ROG Swift PG27UQ and Acer Predator X27, which are about $2,000 monitors when it came to input lag. Regarding image quality, the Predator XB273K delivers pro-level color accuracy and contrast, reaching over 4,001 according to our testing, and over 2,001 after our calibration. HDR doesn't look as good as on monitors with foul backlights, but we consider the Predator XB273K the next best thing. Number 6. Asus ROG Swift PG32Q. If you want the best 4K gaming monitor for HDR movies and games, the Asus ROG Swift PG32Q is an expensive but impressive buy. This is the first gaming-focused monitor with mini LED. Thanks to that advanced backlight, we recorded a fantastic HDR contrast ratio 180,820.81. And while an OLED screen like the LED we're on this page can offer deeper, pure blacks, the PG32Q can get much brighter. It hit 1,627 nits with HDR during testing. We love watching HDR films on the screen, but there's no Dolby Vision support. This won't affect many games, but 4K Blu-ray discs and content from Netflix often use Dolby Vision. On the other hand, you do get support for 24 film cadences, and as a gaming monitor, the PG32Q is no slouch either. It performed admirably against other 144Hz screens in our response time and input lag tests, even besting some, including the HP Omen on this page. In the latter, and the nifty OLED screen on the bottom uniquely relays helpful information, like refresh rate and CPU and GPU temperatures. Number 7. Asus TUF Gaming VG289Q. You don't often see the word budget associated with a 4K monitor, but the Asus TUF Gaming VG289Q isn't just affordable, it's a great gaming monitor too. Despite being available for $349, opens a new tab as of writing, it offers a tremendous amount of performance, making it a fantastic value for gamers looking to get to 4K without breaking the bank. We've even seen 4K monitors priced at $400 offer lesser gaming performance. There was no ghosting when we gamed on the VG289Q, and overdrive successfully helped eliminate motion blur. SDR titles looked extra colorful, but there was hardly any improvement when moving over to HDR games. With the VG289Q price so low, it's not surprising that its refresh rate is limited to just 60 Hz. FreeSync works down to 48 Hz. Of course, hardcore gamers will want more Hz, but casual players can make do with fast-paced scenes showing sufficient detail and excellent pixel density. Number 8. Acer Concept DC7271K. The lines separating the monitor needs of gamers and professionals keep blurring. Besides that, there's nothing wrong with a photo editor wanting to game during their free time, right? The Acer Concept DCP271K is the best 4K gaming monitor for professionals because it boasts impressive gaming specs and accurate color space coverage. Creative professionals can get work done with the monitor's 110% coverage of the DCI-P3 color space, although the very meticulous will find that to be slightly too colorful. You can, however, reduce color with a software lookup table. You also get excellent HDR output with a found backlight that reaches 1000 nits. At the same time, the Concept DCP271K offers gamers accurate sRGB coverage, 96.3%, and powerful performance that kept up with 144Hz gaming monitors in our response time and input lag benchmarking. Number 9. Gigabyte Aorus FV43U. If you're looking for a big 4K experience, the Aorus FV43U offers excellent image quality and gaming performance at a much lower price than screens with slightly lesser image quality. We've seen it for as cheap as $1,000. Opens in new tab. Giving the $1,500. Opens in new tab. Asus ROG PG43UQ on this page a run for its money. The Aorus best of the Asus in our contrast, SDR and HDR and max brightness tests, as well as in color coverage. However, the Asus beat the Aorus in our response time test by 1s and input lag by 7s. Still, unless you're an extremely competitive gamer, it's probably worth the price savings and slight image quality advantages. The Aorus FV43U also offers USB-C connectivity, allowing you to hit 144Hz, 212W speakers that sound better than most in a remote. HDR performance is also top of the line, with our benchmarks recording 38,888.41 contrast and HDR gains showing impressive depth and popping textures. A lack of 24 and Dolby Vision support hurt the FV43U's chances as a full TV replacement, but there isn't much else missing in a premium gaming monitor here. Number 10. Asus ROG Swift PG43Q. We loved the Asus ROG Swift PG43Q when we first saw it in June, but it's been hard to find online ever since. We reviewed it at $1,500, opens in new tab but have seen it sell for more. However, if you can find this massive screen at the right price, you won't be disappointed. At 43 inches, the ROG Swift PG43Q is a juggernaut that makes for a great TV replacement. It even has a remote. From a 4-foot distance, it lends to a highly immersive experience that rivals a curved ultra-wide. And with Display HDR 1000 certification, HDR movies pack a punch. Games looked incredibly realistic and warm in HDR and also natural and vibrant in SDR. Response time competed well against other 144Hz screens in our benchmarks, and the input lag was better than the equally priced Acer Predator CG437K. If you can't find the Asus in stock, the Acer's a fine substitution with a drop less performance for around $1,455. Opens in new tab.